We have made it. We're here. It was a scheduling snafu, but we made it work. Sorry, we are. Hey, look, we do the best we can on this show. I mean, you know what? Come on.
We're trying.
What more do you want from us people other than being like on time and here every week? Like, come on, that's just too much to ask. Anyway, welcome back to Prep Talk Live, episode 45. I'm Casey with Cascadia Dispatch. Joining me, as always, is Tup, the Urban Prepper. Tup, what is up? How are things? How was your week? How's everything going?
It's going pretty good. Sorry for the delay. A little busy. I was in a meeting and I had to do. Hey, I'm going to be late, so I'm glad that you got it. It was like I summoned a raven to go over to Portland to let you know. So we
just need to let your employer know. Look, Tup has to go on at 5:30. Like we are live at 5:30. There are people waiting for us. Anyway, no, we're flexible. It is what it is. Luckily, Bernie was able to text and send out a message. Bernie's going for MVP honors already. I sent a little note. So anyway, welcome everybody. I see that everyone was chatting while they were waiting for us.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Exactly. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. A peanut is neither a pea nor a nut. Discuss. Yeah, we had Saturday Night Live cashback. Anyway. So we have an abbreviated show.
Yeah, it's my fault. My kids they take piano lessons and I don't know.
When we're dealing with a star as large as Tup with millions of fans, we take what we can get.
The legal team gets into play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You have other obligations. It's like if you were to go on like Good Morning America and your handlers would be like, look, he's only got 5 minutes and then he's on to the next Jimmy Fallon.
Kind of like that.
Exactly. So quick shout out to everybody. I see like Chuck is here. I saw that Bernie is here. I'm just going through the chat. I've got a new little setup that I'm
it looks a little different.
Working towards. I got like my teleprompter and I got my streaming camera in there, so I theoretically can like look like this and see everyone, but I haven't gotten the actual iPad to sync with it yet, so I gotta still work on that. So next week, hopefully,
like Optimus Prime is more prominent too. I think so.
Well, I mean, as per usual, I also added his his cube and his backpack, and is
that the Matrix of leaddership? I can't.
No, it's just an
Energon cube.
It's an Energon cube.
That's a valuable prep that I think most preppers don't talk about the Energon.
Yeah, exactly. Cubes. You don't give the Energon cubes nearly enough credit.
Yeah, everyone's talking about these little battery packs and stuff, and anchor,
solar panels,
energy, and go.
You said Energon cubes. It wouldn't matter.
Energon cubes is where it's at. So.
So I kind of came up with a topic today for us to discuss a little bit. And since we only have a couple minutes, I figure we jump right into it and go for it.
Well, and you're always free, I think, to talk amongst yourself too. So,
we could do that too.
I could get Birdie in, and then
yeah, exactly. We can do all kinds of things. We'll make it work. Actually, it works for me too.
Get a pitch hitter.
Yeah, exactly. We had a sick kid today, so it would be good for me to jump off and go handle that stuff. But I'm getting better at this. Bernie, I now have Bernie's contact information.
Nice.
I need Amy's information. I need Pig's information. Like, there are a few people that I just need their information. And then what we're gonna do is like an hour before it's showtime, we'd be like, hey, who wants to jump on?
Yeah, that'll be good.
So the question I have is, we have my daughter has a friend who is gonna come over to our house. And most of the time, especially because of COVID, most of the people that have been to our house are people we've known for a long time. They know us. And the little girl's parents said, hey, actually, we've never really met other than, exchanging kids during the day or whatever. Before she comes over and spends a lot of time, I'd love to come over and spend a little bit of time with your family and see
get to know the parents. Yeah.
Exactly. And we were like, that is a remarkably responsible and realistic idea. We are all for that. Okay, great. And as we've been talking about it this weekend, it's coming up this weekend. My wife was talking. We were like, when people come over to our house, there are lots of people that know us and know about, some of the prepping stuff that we do and all that sort of stuff. It's not something we bring up all the time. But when new people come into our house or something, they might see our surplus of stuff in the garage, or the fact that there are flashlights all over the house, and that we've got a new security system everywhere. Like, there are things like that kind of make people ask questions. And I'm curious, when we're meeting new people and kind of revealing to them, like, are you a prepper? Are you a prepper? Are you a prepper? I'm a prepper. Am I a prepper? I don't know. Like, that conversation. Have you had that experience yet? And what are some ways that you kind of lead people into the idea that you are a prepper, aside from all of the fans that are parked in your driveway?
Well,
and signs, like,
yeah, I think it's a great topic, because it's a uh yeah, that's happened a lot, and it's kind of funny. It's always like that awkward moment where you can kind of sniff out one of your own pretty quickly and easily. Like, they might have a paracord bracelet, or they might have a little pocket clip knife. Like, it's kind of funny. Yeah, but you always want to remember, never go full prepper. You don't want to go full prepper right off the bat, but they might. So usually I usually just talk in terms of, like, I don't even say prepper, because sometimes it's associated with doomsday preppers, which then is associated with doom and gloom type stuff. So I always do it. I always say emergency preparedness is those, and then I talk about pantry stuff first. Like, that's because everyone can relate to food. Everyone wants to eat food, and usually once you start talking pantry and food related preps, it's like, then you can kind of start gauging how safe of a space this is to talk about it. So, because again, you don't want to go full prepper. You don't want
exactly. You don't want to be like, so come to the armory. Like, you don't want to lead off with that.
Here's my bunker, or or by the way, have you downloaded the PDF? You don't want to do that right off the bat. That's too much.
Have you subscribed to my YouTube channel?
Yeah, or not even that. Like, well, also, you have to be careful on who you share that kind of information with, because you also don't want to be raided by them down the road. So
people go back and they're like, so we found this house, and they have all kinds of interesting stuff. So we should probably
preppers.
Secret preppers.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think so. When we were putting we've had conversations here and there, and I've kind of over the years let it be known a little bit more that, like, I'm interested in this sort of thing. But when we were having the office built, and we had a lot of contractor people in, and some of them were subcontractors. They were just doing, they were just doing the blinds, or they were just doing the paint, or whatever. It was interesting because they'd come in and I'd have like a box of all of the, like, gear that I wanted to make videos about. And they would be like, what? Tell me about the waterproof pouches and the, is that a plate carrier? What is going on? Like, so there's interesting, you can kind of judge from them. Like, they would be like, oh yeah, my brother does all of that stuff for us, and he has a bunker, and he does all that. Like, or they would be like, why do you have all of that? So it's definitely, I think, leading into it, going with the food is a great one, especially because so many people can. And I think that's a fantastic.
Well, I think a lot of, like, the COVID stuff, like, helped out with it was a kind of horrible situation, but it did. I think it's not uncommon for people to be walking around in N95 masks, when, like, 5 years ago people didn't, that was a faux pas. So I don't know. I think people are more accepting of it now, because and maybe even mired it a little bit, as long as it's practical. If it comes across as practical stuff, I wouldn't go into too much security weapons type stuff, or even like the hammery, because they associate that with a certain thing. But again, I always try to tread lightly, just in general, and don't give up all your cards too quickly. But
yeah, it's gonna be interesting now, because I have a gigantic white antenna in our backyard.
Yeah, that's showing that this guy's full prepper.
Exactly, he's gone full prepper. It's happening. If we need, this is the spot to go, sort of a thing.
That's one of the reasons I try to keep a consistent, like, non-prepper type look, like with the pea coat and the hat and the glasses. Like, if I really want to go full prepper, the full military baseball cap and some certain things.
You mean you don't walk around in a sweatshirt that you designed that says prepper on the front of it?
Yeah, no. That's part of Gray Man. That's part of Gray Man is not looking like one.
That's a whole different channel thing happening.
Yeah. It's pretty funny, because there's always that's a common, like, first it's like a first date kind of thing where you're
what's your sign? Are you into canning, or are you into freeze drying? What?
Yeah, you kind of
Tell
have to be
me.
a little careful to like. I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's like on first dates you don't talk about religion and politics. Is at least at least that's how it used to be. So, but
Yeah.
you kind of have to gauge someone out if there is some common type thing. So
I like intermittent fasting and getting caught in the rain. Like,
yeah,
I don't know how that if that would work out or not
yeah.
as a backup plan. So Dr. Dave says background checks first. Um, Dr. Dave, do you mean background check like on the people, or do you mean like talk about background checks? Um, like, we background check all the people that come to our house. We're gonna, it's like when you go to the like the indoor skydiving things
Yeah.
or the Chuck E. Cheese's or whatever, and you have to do the liability form now online before your kid can go play.
Well,
Like, if
and
you'd like to come to our house, we need to have a background check and
yeah, I think prairie prepping. I was talking about the guy off the road that goes full prepper. In one way, like I try to gray man is good, but maybe going full, maybe just being outward full prepper will just turn. Certain people won't want to mess with you just right off the bat because you're full prepper and you're not afraid to show it type thing. So I don't know. Again I go gray man, but
yeah, I think that's also like the difference between it's kind of the gray man and the yellow jacket idea, which one day I'm going to make a video about.
yeah.
I have images, I have B-roll footage of yellow jackets. Like, I am ready to make this video at some point in the next, I don't know, 12 to 18 months probably. But I think the idea that there are some people who maybe you want to be a little bit more overt uh, and obvious with your prepping plans and some of that to kind of get some space versus the people you just want to blend in and not, ruffle feathers and some of that sort of stuff.
You see someone that says, "Hey Cliff, I think I found your doppelganger," and it's from not the urban.
Urban pepper.
That's hilarious.
Tup, get the legal team on the phone. I
Yeah,
think
all right, got another doppelganger. So
the best part is it's probably Canadian pepper just
probably is.
deciding to
It's probably Bernie.
it probably is Bernie.
probably
Yeah.
Bernie, yeah.
That makes sense. That's good. Let's see. During Doomsday Prepper Show run, we would see people walking around in full camo. Not so much anymore. Yeah, the camo thing is something that I have not really gotten on board with.
Yeah.
In general, like I don't have
camo's
any
not gray
preps.
man.
Yeah, I don't have any preps. It's supposed to be gray man because it's camo. But
Yeah.
I don't have any preps that are actually camo.
No.
It's
To me,
all like
my
black or
camo
gray.
is a pea coat in black and non. That's camouflage for me.
It's a pea coat with 17
Camo is
battery
for like
chargers
the
in
woods.
it.
If you're in the woods, then the camo's camo. But I think in an urban environment, your camo is blending in and looking like just a urbanite. So
Yeah. Well,
that's
I
your
think too,
camouflage.
also, if you're in the woods or something and you're wearing black,
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
not-
like
yeah.
that's also going to blend in, especially at night, really, really well. If you're moving at night, then black is going to be a pretty awesome way to blend in with, the black night, I would think.
Yeah.
More than, like the green or the mossy oak or something like that. If you were hunting, then sure.
Are those colors? I only know like 16 colors, and I think you just busted out some deep
like
ones.
a mossy oak. I
Mossy
think
oak?
there's a company. I think it's it's an outfitting company. I say outfitting because I think they make clothes and I think they make gear.
Oh, okay.
But it's like it's like designed for like deer hunters and
Okay,
things
that's that look. Okay.
And they have like a certain type of camo that looks like photorealistic kind of. And so like I feel like, okay, if you're doing that, then fantastic. Like that's great camo. But if you're wandering around in the street or you've got an earthquake or something like that, if you're wearing all camo, that is projecting not gray man and not camo. That is being super obvious.
That's going to be harder. Like on the title of the video, the nice to meet you. We're not crazy.
Yeah.
That'll, we're a little crazy if we got that.
Nice to meet you. We're not crazy. Yeah. I thought about that because a lot of times I know that for me, when I would meet people who were big into emergency preparedness and I was not, I was like, all right, you're all doomsday preppers. I don't know what's going on here. Like, this is not my scene. Now it is my scene. And so it's trying to figure out if you're meeting somebody new, hey, I'm not not crazy. Like we're not lumping ourselves into that broader prepper community of we're hiding in the woods and we're, you know, wearing camo all the time. Like we're just people who plan ahead and do stuff. And please let our kids hang out together because they would like to be friends.
Yeah, someone say, how do you you've been prepping all these? It was a new term for me. I know what he's talking about. I just never called it by its official name, I guess. So, on the mossy oak. So, I'm still convinced that the best preppers are the ones that we don't even know about. I don't think, like, if you're on YouTube, you're already kind of avoiding, like, you putting your face out there. I think like the best of the best preppers are probably, we have no idea who they are. They don't have a YouTube channel, or they don't have a mailing list and stuff, and they're like some super discreet, super low key, don't talk about it. It's like Fight Club type thing. So
yeah, you mean they don't have YouTube channels and
they don't have YouTube channels and like their face scanned and there's bots are being made of them and stuff. So.
Exactly, they don't have AI enhanced images of all of their different, you know, looks and things like that.
Yeah, I think those are probably the best preppers out there. So
all right, let me just look at the comments because we have so many people. Big Ross, if people don't have prepper pantries, they are the crazy ones. You know what?
Nowadays,
I would totally agree with that.
Yeah,
if you survived through the last couple of years, like that was like dialing in prepper pantry.
Yeah, if you don't have a prepper pantry, some kind of masks and toilet paper, then that's just crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
That should just be common now, I think.
Yeah, and you should watch Tup's video on how much toilet paper you need for a year.
Or get a bidet.
Yeah, exactly. We got to bump up. We'll get a little extra view, a little monetization cycle there for you on that video.
Most people still aren't into the bidet thing as much, but Europeans know where it's at. So.
I highly recommend that. That's a wonderful. You know what that is? That is a wonderful Costco purchase.
Yeah.
Because if you get it and try it out and you don't like it, it's Costco. You can take it back. Now, it might feel a little gross to take it back, but you can totally take it back to Costco and get your money back. They also are on sale there. Like in every monthly cycle, there is a different brand or version of a bidet that is on sale. So you can totally get one, totally get one up. I highly recommend it.
Cool.
We have 3 of them now. We have them in all of the bathrooms because everyone was didn't want it.
I had to take out it from the main bathroom because it was a problem. So
yeah. Amy says she doesn't look good in camo. But she does like solid colors that go into the various camos. So Amy would be advocating then for like olive gray or tan or something, like go with a color blocking maybe, but not the full on digitized or the leaf designs or anything like that.
And I could hear outside. I hear rumbling outside my door, so I may get spotted.
You're gonna, and we are almost at 20 minutes. We're almost like right on cue.
I hear at any point like it could be a disaster.
All right, any point it could be a disaster. Most of our shows at all points are a disaster. Like I feel like this is actually the most organized show we've had in a very long time.
It's pretty. We're pretty efficient, right down to business, and
exactly. If we
sticking
start
with the title and everything
early,
too,
we can just really knock out the points.
Well, I think you should. Yeah, I wish I need a pinch hitter. I need Bernie or Amy Fresh to come on. Or
all right, Bernie, do you want to come on, or Amy? Who wants to come on? I'll throw you an ad, and I'll send you the link, and we can bring you in. If either of you would like to, you are more than welcome to. We can do another 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's see. The question is, how do I get the link to somebody?
Well, Bernie, his email maybe. Bernie doesn't have text. Well, I think he might have.
Yeah. Bernie doesn't have text messaging because
he's old school. 19.
Yeah, exactly. He's
late 90s.
Yeah, he's not. It's not a thing. Amy is not set up for it at the moment.
Okay.
Totally fine, Amy. Like totally fine. No need to apologize or anything like that. Let me see if I can get this over to Bernie.
Cool. Well, I'll bow out gracefully, and then so but I'll try to tune in while I'm driving to the piano lesson. I think.
Oh, all right. Well, that would be super
That might be
fun.
kind of fun. So.
We would enjoy that.
Yeah, I'll be a commenter, and then you'll ban me.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. You're 100% garbage.
Okay.
And you're done.
Yeah,
you're out.
Dead.
You're done.
You're dead to me.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Bernie. I sent you a DM in Instagram because I didn't have a carrier pigeon, and my owl is not functioning right now. I do have like a couple of Hedwig Lego sets. I was thinking I should make one of those and put those in. But yeah, so Bernie, I sent you. Actually, no, Bernie does have text messaging because he's
texting you right now.
All right, so I texted it to him too.
All right, cool.
Okay,
cool. Well, I'm gonna bow before I get rated. But yeah, it's good talking, and I'll make sure that I'll talk to my boss, tell him, hey, I got things to do at 5:30.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Come on, we got things to do. But everyone, I think
they should stick around.
Yeah, because just stay on the channels that you're on, because I think Tup's channel will continue to broadcast even if his camera goes off.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we'll be good.
Cool.
So we'll just wait for Bernie to make it.
All right. I'm slipping out.
All right. Bye, Tup. All right. We'll go into that mode. Yeah, I'm hoping that this iPad teleprompter whole setup thing is going to work a little bit better, and I won't be looking down or off to the side as much. So that would be a good thing, I think, for everybody. More eye contact. Let you all know that I see you, I hear you, and by that I'm reading your comments and things. Oh, now Bernie needs a minute. Bernie, we said we were getting on. Like, what do you got to do? You gotta go get camera ready. I don't know what's happening. All right. Oh, Big Ross moved over to the Cascadia Dispatch channel. That is fantastic. If everyone wouldn't mind, if you haven't already, hit the like button, because we definitely notice that when there are more thumbs ups on the videos, on the streams, that definitely gets pushed out, and especially in the rewatch and the replays, there are more people that it gets suggested to. So if you haven't already, go ahead, hit the like button while we're waiting for Bernie to join us as well. Big Ross is already. Have you tried the new eye contact AI? So I'm so glad you brought that up. I have not tried it. I've seen it in examples, and it is crazy how amazing it is. I also, just as I was gonna make a little video about prepping with ChatGPT. I think I still might do it. But I played around with ChatGPT and asking it some prepping related questions and things like that, and it is pretty amazing from that front. There are obviously things it can't do. Oh, the man, the myth, the legend. Bernie has arrived. The Apex Prepper has arrived. Welcome to the party, sir.
Hey, can you hear me? And I might need to get a headset.
I could pretend that I couldn't hear you, and that would be really funny for everyone else. But no, I can totally hear you.
Okay, good.
So welcome.
Not too much echoing. Hey, everyone.
Yeah, no, it looks good. It's been so long since you've been on a stream.
It has been a long time, and like my hair, I didn't get it ready in time. And
I understand you didn't have time to go to the stylist. The curls are not fully set. We won't judge.
Okay, please don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Please don't.
Amy says yes. We can totally hear. So okay. Bernie, have you played around with any of the AIs as it relates to prepping stuff?
No, I haven't. I've been thinking about it because I have this artsy side to me, right? But at the same time, I'm like kind of scared what I might find out.
Like, I love that it's like what is it going to find out that it already doesn't know?
Exactly.
Like that's kind of where I get in with some of that.
Or it may put me in a situation like man, I would be a badass Viking.
Yeah. And then you have to bleach your hair, and you have to get a
long
wig.
Wavy,
exactly. Yeah. It's a whole thing. I understand.
Yeah.
It was kind of, I got into ChatGPT and I asked it, like, give me 30 tasks to do as a prepping person. and I wanted to compare it against the list that I had made for my the prep alerts calendar, and then for the planner and stuff that I'm working on. And it was amazing how close it actually came up to all of the things that like you would think people would know about, but obviously you don't. But just all of the, check your fire extinguishers, check your things, make sure you have a food plan, find air evacuation points. And it just kept spitting them out. And you could adjust it and be like, all right, which of these should we use if we're in the southern states or whatever? And it would change it for weather and all that sort of stuff. It was pretty crazy. I thought it was interesting though, because I asked it to give me 50, because I was trying to see, okay, could you get like a week? Well, like the prep alerts calendar, I've got a different task for every week. Some of them are overlapping, like redoing bug out bags and some of that sort of stuff. But for the most part, there's probably 40
what I need to do
tasks. And then for the new planner that I'm putting together, it's got similar things. And it came up with like 37. And I was like, give me 10 more. And it was like, no, I have no more. This is all I have. So
no more, we're cut off.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see.
Oh yeah, twins. Look at
twins.
That. Yeah, modern day prepper. Wow, twins. He's not far off. I mean, you have more hair than I do. I'm kind of jealous.
Well, it's on the sides. It just relocates from different places to different places.
So part of my
hair process
everyday carry right now apparently is isopropyl rubbing alcohol.
For what? Why do you need? Is this like when Tup pulls up a chainsaw from next to his desk, and you're like, why do you have a fire hydrant wrench and a chainsaw in your office?
I'm trying to think, why did I have this rubbing alcohol? I know I was cleaning something.
And you breathed in too much and you've forgotten the last 3 days. That's what has happened.
You caught me.
All right.
I'm looking at my background. I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot I have. Hey, look, I have I do have a little prepper square right there.
Oh, there you go.
See, that's and you'll appreciate this. I got my Transformers one. Got some Robotech. Got some
very on brand.
Yeah. Yep. And then I got some Marvel stuff down here. Got a mess over there. Yeah. In the middle.
All right. You have a Prep Talk Live approved background. That's what is happening there. Yes. That works out really well. So Chuck says that he tried ChatGPT and it is scary good. Yes.
Okay.
It is. Have you gotten on? Have you played with it yet?
No. Like I said, scared.
Yeah, you should totally. Everyone should get on and just see what it comes up with.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'm going to give it a shot. What is,
of course, concerning is like what that means for like people with certain types of jobs and things. Like, I've seen a lot of people kind of break down what ChatGPT actually like can process and what types of outputs it can do and inputs it can handle and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So it's still a ways from like totally replacing all human beings. But it's like a really, really amazing version of Google from like search. Like you just go and ask it like a regular question and Google would maybe give you some responses and ChatGPT will summarize those responses and be like, these are the most important things you should know. And you're like, fantastic.
All right. I'm going to give it a shot. See how it goes.
Yeah. Apparently it passed the accounting, what's it called? Boards to like be a CPA. It passed the medical boards. It passed the bar exam and it passed the MBA exams. I think it was University of Pennsylvania at Wharton.
So can you ask it to represent you if you needed a lawyer? Or if you needed a second opinion on a medical?
Yeah. So I don't know if it obviously does not carry the same level of like experience and real world just experience and like liability coverage, and like if something happened you could like go to it. But it's an interesting, I think, for people who are used to going to like getting their medical degrees from Google and searching things up on Google and coming up with answers. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they transition to doing that in ChatGPT, and what the responses come back from ChatGPT on some of those similar questions that normally Google would give you 7 or 8 different article results. ChatGPT is just going to give you like a bullet pointed summary of what you wanted.
Okay.
But yeah, it's interesting. And it just like, I mean, there's so many of them. There's the one that does the images. It's crazy. All of the different stuff.
So, and it's the ChatGPT Open AI.
Yeah. 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 If you can get in, it's also, they have like load limits on it because it's currently free. So sometimes you can't actually get onto it. And it'll take a little while before like there's a spot for you to get in and use it.
Hey,
but
Pony Girl's here.
Yeah, Pony Girl's here. She's a little late. That's okay.
We were late
too.
She's later than Tup. I mean, that's kind of saying a lot, though.
Pony Girl, not sure if you know, Tup has changed a little bit. He's finally gotten rid of the hat. He was like, you know what? It's time to go.
Lost the ability to play the sax.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking
of, and we can talk about it now that he's not here.
Yeah.
Have you watched his video? His latest. It's fantastic.
He's very good. He's very talented.
Oh, yeah. I saw him live. That was the first time I met him. So a lot of you guys may or may not know this and how I met Tup. The first time I met him, he had put the flashlight. The flashlight. He put this up for a giveaway, free giveaway. And it was his son that ended up picking my comment. And it was because of my gamer tag. It was at the time Bionic Madness. So he contacted me. He was like, hey, you won, and so I contacted him and was like, dude, I've been following you for years. And I started, I went what we were talking about earlier. I went full prepper mode on him. And he was just like, oh my God, we got to talk. So he calls me. And then we had an hour-long conversation just about, like, we both went full prepper. I mean, it was fantastic. So then he had a show in Portland, in downtown Portland. Mm-hmm. This was before all the craziness, right?
Yeah.
And so we decided to meet downtown, and he invited me to his show. He's like, hey, I'm playing downtown. Let's, come in. I got you tickets. You can come and watch. I'm like, sweet, great. So we did 2 videos that ended up on his channel. One was for the documentation, and the other one was for digital downloads and whatnot. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. But it was also that same night that he had a show, and I think I was out till like 1:00 in the morning at his
back
show.
In the old days, back when we could do that.
Back when I was young.
Yeah, exactly.
And we hung out most of the night, and then we talked more prepping and whatnot. But that first night that I met him, I got to watch him play live, and that was a great show. So
I have not gotten to see him live. I met him because I messaged him on Instagram. I think it was on Instagram. I was driving up and back to Seattle every week for a client that I was working with. And I'd figured out that he lived in the Seattle area, and was like, hey, the next time I'm up there, can I take you to grab a drink or something, and just thank you for, you know, giving me the information to get started on this whole thing.
Right.
And yeah, and that's where our one picture together comes from, is from that. And then the rest is history. At this point, we're like, all right, at some point we need to get together and take more pictures, because, you know, we need better thumbnails.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, next time I have a picture with him, I am definitely standing on like 3 or 4 steps, because like the camera was way back in order to get me into the picture, and because for all of you that don't realize how big
He's
Tup
7'4",
at least
320 pounds. Like, you would not expect it from him.
So he actually come up with the idea back, you know, a couple of years ago. It's like, I should dress up as Han Solo and he should dress up as a Wookiee, and it would be perfect.
I think, yes, but I think you should dress up as the Wookiee and he should dress up as Han Solo. I think that would be even better.
Or you could dress up as Han Solo, get him to dress up as the Wookiee, and I could be the Ewok.
Okay, I like that idea. That's, you know what? Yeah. That's a much better plan. Much better plan. I like that very much. I thought you were going to tell me to dress up as Leia, and I was going to be like, I don't look as great in the gold bikini. That's just not really my vibe.
That's the thing I didn't want to see, though. So
yeah. College.
None of us wanted to see that.
Yeah, no.
R2D2.
That would be fantastic. Has anybody else in the chat? Is there anybody else who's actually met Tup? Now that we're all just fanboying over Tup now that he's gone. He's probably in the car just loving it, just eating it up, just telling his kids, wife, like, see, look at these poor
goofballs have screwed up everything.
Exactly.
Like, the last 20 minutes, we haven't talked about prepping at all. Instead, we talked about Wookiees, Han Solo, Ewoks, and now R2D2.
Yeah, for everyone who has been to our show before, again, that would not be a surprise to anyone. That's what we would talk about.
You know, the only thing that's really missing is we haven't done a poop joke yet.
Well, look,
it'll come out eventually.
Thank you, Bernie. Thank you for saving. Yeah. Thank you for saving the show.
Okay, now that we got all that out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. Now that we got that covered.
Oh my goodness. So, okay, I suppose we should get to some of the
topics. He real or just AI? You know, he seemed real, but it is very possible that he was some sort of like a life model decoy. I think that's possible. And so it begins.
Yep.
Yeah, that is pretty fair. That is pretty fair. All right, so I'm liking this whole being able to swap out. So what we need, I think, going forward, if anyone in the chat, because right now there's a few people who are in the chat live right now, and most of them are our usual crew. If any of you would be interested in pinch hitting as a guest commentator or jumping in or anything like that, send me a DM on Instagram with your email address or contact information or something. And then what we'll do, or you can even just say, hey, on Instagram, like, hey, I'd be interested. And then I can send you the link via that. And that way, because sometimes we know that we talk about the fact that, like, we're not always on time. Sometimes, especially with Tup's schedule, if his meeting runs long or something, or my meetings run long or whatever, you know, things can kind of shake out at the last minute. So sometimes we don't know actually when we're going to start for real until 20 minutes before we actually hit the live button. So if there's anybody who would be up for jumping in, so that if I can't make it, you can jump on with Tup. If Tup can't make it, you jump on with me. We might also just do some of these where Tup and I maybe start and kick it off, and then we bring in some people as we go. But it'd be great to know who would be up for that, who has a camera setup, or not a camera setup, but just the ability to jump on to a video conference. That would be fantastic. We've gotten lots of
definitely
great
vote
questions.
Pony Girl, Pigs Fly, and Amy.
Yeah, but I would also say Prairie Prepping. Chuck always has great comments. Dr. Dave is on here all the time. There are lots of the usual suspects on here that I think I'm just going through and finding everybody. Modern Day Prepper, 100%. Big Ross is always involved. This Apex Prepper guy, he just is not.
Now that guy's a joke. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I saw him on Tup Streams for a while. I think that's what ended Tup Streams, to be honest, was Apex Prepper.
No kidding, man. That guy. I swear.
Bleaker family. Yeah.
So
I'd say,
like I say, some people's kids. Some people's kids.
Some people's kids. So I would say, yeah, anybody who's interested, I know we're going to reach out to a couple of other people that we know and see who might be up for like a more scheduled appearance over the next couple of months. But having a little bit of a list of people who could jump on, I think would be fantastic. So I think that's as we approach 6:30. I know I need to go and do dinner. Bernie, I appreciate you jumping on.
No problem.
Pinch hitting as usual. You did a fantastic job. We only lost, 3,000 simultaneous viewers during your portion of the show.
Yeah, that's expected though.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
was expected. Yeah.
To be honest, I was expecting a 10,000 viewer loss. So we're in better shape. Yeah, you held the audience, which was fantastic.
Do my best. I definitely do my best.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks again for joining us. We will see you next week, next Wednesday. Bye from me and Bernie. See ya.
See you guys.